Good evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. This is the second time recording this, by the way. But, as you can see in the last video, we had some issues. And the issue was my fault. I had the incorrect bin file with a different XDF file. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I used Tuner Pro to tune the ECU and turn certain stuff off. It's a free software. If you go to the LS Swap Shop YouTube video, he explains a lot of this. But what I did is I had the wrong XDF file with the wrong bin file, or vice versa. They were not matching. He says you're supposed to match them. I didn't. I thought you could use something close. I'm not a big computer whiz. I have a few buddies that point me in the right direction, and then I also have a tuner that tunes a lot of my stuff, which he hopefully will be tuning this, or I'll figure something out. But if you go to his page and show some support, he is a very knowledgeable person on the factory ECUs. Just follow instructions word for word, because that will help. I didn't. Found out the hard way. Was struggling with this thing for a couple days. I went back and forth with him trying to figure stuff out, and then all of a sudden I figured it out. So yeah, my fault. I was an idiot. But now we're to the other issue that I just figured out, is the alternator. So apparently, I don't know if it's every Blazer, because of this year being a funny year. It's an 03, but I think it's an early 03, so they did stuff from 02 in a way. But there is an external regulator thing that controls the alternator. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know what it is, but every time I put the factory alternator in place and hooked everything up the way the 4.3 was hooked up, it would fry the alternator. Couldn't figure out why. So I was like, well, let me try the factory alternator off the 4.3. So that's what I did. Before I hooked up the power wire to the back of the alternator, I took my voltage tester and made sure it was putting out 14 volts or 14.7 or whatever it needs to put out. And it was. And then I hooked up the wire just to see if it would fry it, and it didn't. And now it's got an alternator. It is the factory 4.3 alternator. Yes, it looks the same, but it's slightly different. So other people probably pull that regulator off and just hook it directly to the battery, and I'm probably going to get comments saying, why didn't you do that? Which I didn't know, because I'm not a big wiring guy. I kind of like dabble in it a little bit, and the main details I don't know. Obviously power ground, you got your 5-volt reference, stuff like that. It's easy to figure out, but I don't know the whole regulator thing. I didn't know that it had it or didn't need to be hooked up. On the square body, all it needed was an exciter wire. It only needed one wire, and that uses a Holley to control everything else but the alternator. Yes, the Holley can control the alternator, but I didn't want to do that because I was having issues. And I've had the same way. It's been hooked up the same way for probably 8 years. Never had an issue other than a bad battery that kept frying the alternator for some reason. But anyways, this is my first stock ECU swap. So it is quite a bit different using the stock ECU than the Holley. The Holley is very simplified. There are some difficult things in the Holley, but it's pretty manageable. There's a lot of info on that. So I wanted to do a factory LS swap and everything work correctly, you know. Well, not factory LS swap, but I wanted to use all the factory stuff. Like I said in the previous video, I want somebody to be able to get in it, turn the AC on, no problems. You know, not even worry about stuff, because to be honest, there's not a whole lot of people that can drive the white truck, I feel. I mean, there's probably people that can, but I'd rather not. I feel comfortable them driving the Blazer more than my white truck. But I'm going to show you exactly how it starts up and runs. Granted, this thing is not tuned correctly. It is just a base startup tune, and the LS Swap Shop guy, he helps you with a base tune and suggests that you take it to a tuner and let them tune it. Unless you're a tuner yourself and you can do it. But it would be best if you got it running and did what he specifically says and took it to a tuner that knew what they were doing. I kind of know what I'm doing, but I will have somebody tune it correctly, because there's a lot of time and money went into this thing, and I don't want it to all go to waste because I didn't listen. But enough rambling, and we're going to see if this thing runs. And granted, I've already had it running, so and that's part of the tune issue, is starting up. So, sounds really mean. There is an exhaust leak. I know everybody can hear that. I will fix that. But I need to put brakes on it before I move it back over to the lift area. When I cut the blocks off in a previous video, I found out there was a brake pad missing. So I really don't want this thing taking off and running into something. So I ordered brakes, and they should be here next week. That way I can move it around under its own power. Granted, I can move it in and out of here with my tractor and push it in, but what's the fun in that? So it'd be really nice to see it moving under its own power. I'll probably make a video of that. But it's running. It needs to be tuned. I did not adjust for injectors. Now in the software, they do grams per second or something like that in the software. I have no clue how to adjust that, because these are not factory injectors. They're 48-pound injectors. And I have to adjust for those because it's probably real rich at the moment. It's probably not far off because the O2 sensors are controlling the fueling a little bit, but granted, I can't run this thing down the road wide open throttle because it'll probably lean out or do something funny. Also, when I get it back on the lift, I'm gonna drop the tank and put the bigger fuel pump in it because the 4.3 fuel pump is not adequate enough for volume. Granted, it will run and move and maybe putt down the road, but really, we got a V8 in this thing. We're not gonna putt down the road. Now, we're not gonna be doing any racing on the road. Obviously, that is illegal. We will take it to the track and see what it's gonna do. It'll probably be slow. Okay, it ain't gonna be nothing, 10-second thing. It'll probably be, if I would have to guess, mild build like this, maybe a 13-second. Yeah, that's real slow, but it's an LS swap, extreme blazer, 2-door. They're starting to get rare, so it's just something cool to drive. Also, I need to set up the fans. I don't have the fans wired. My main concern was getting it running. If I got it running, then I could focus on all the other little stuff, which is not a big deal. The biggest issue was the tune and it running. So now that we got that out of the way, now we can do the brakes, the fans, the AC. AC is going to be a pretty big thing because it's starting to become summer. As you can see, it's nice and bright. And of course, the weatherman calls for more rain and snow near me. So later on, we're going to take this thing out and check out the bump button. I might video it. I don't know yet. But being by myself at the moment, we'll see. I could put the camera on the bar and we'll see what happens. But I want to make sure we have all the gears in there. I have a video of me and my buddy putting the trans brake in on another playlist, I think. Shout out to him. He helped me out. I was very scared on touching transmissions. I've built one or two back in the day and it did not turn out okay. So that's why I had a transmission builder build this. And then my one buddy that helped me in that video, he rebuilds his trans all the time. 4L80 deal. That car has the potential to, run mid-8s. So I trust him. But we're gonna try it out later. Maybe I'll make another video. We'll see. But as of right now, the Blazer is a big thing. So, and I got the lowering blocks in. I am gonna lower it back down if y'all are wondering. As you can see, too much wheel well here. It needs to be lowered. Looks like a monster truck. So, but I don't know the plans for this yet. Obviously, it's just going to be a driver for now. May put some spray on it. some nitrous, see what happens. So I did head stud this motor. It does have stock rods, stock pistons. I did cap the piston rings before I put the pistons back in it. So it could potentially take something. Maybe not a whole lot, but it's got some good stuff in it. A high volume oil pump, brand new rockers, push rods, Morel lifters. I said all this in another video. It should be able to handle it. I'm obviously not going to put like a 300 shot on it and eat it, because I really don't want to put another motor in this. This thing is super tight. I don't know if you can see that, but it is super tight. So my tuning guy, he was like, where's the turbo at? And unfortunately, I'm not going to do that to this. I don't want it to get out of hand with somebody else driving it. But I'm gonna keep it NA. Maybe add nitrous later on a later date when everything's panned out. But this is just a fun daily driver deal. This is my drag and drive hot rod deal. And then there is another truck, but that will become in the later videos, because that one is going to outrun the square body white truck. And yes, you might be able to guess it's another square body, but that one, well, it's going to take me a while. We'll see how long this YouTube thing goes. We'll see if it makes it on the channel or not. But as for now, that's going to be the end of this video, because I'm going to go for a ride in the white truck. Make sure I got all the gears. But if you like this video, like, subscribe, comment if you want. Let me know what that little voltage regulator thing is. I had a bunch of S10s back in the day, but I never encountered that issue. So thank you for watching. Have a good day.